Hi guys, welcome to youtube.com/Adam McKola. I'm Adam. The international break is finally over. Yes, the international break is done and dusted. We can now look forward to an Easter weekend of English Premier League, European football. It's all there this weekend. I'm looking forward to a whole host of it starting tomorrow, even with the championship. That is how much I have missed football. I can't even wait for the championship games tomorrow. But anyway guys, how are you all doing? It's been a while since I've been live. I think the last live stream I did was about Zlatan Ibrahimovic heading off to LA and leaving Manchester United, and now Manchester United go into the game against Swansea, obviously without Zlatan Ibrahimovic, but there is some good news on the injury front. Marcos Rojo played 90 minutes in the internationals against Spain. We won't mention the goals conceded, but he did play 90 minutes, which is great news for Manchester United fans. And Herrera is back from injury as well, which is also great news for Manchester United fans. And of course, Paul Pogba scored a goal. Romelu Lukaku had a very good international break. Jesse Lingard had a good international break. There's positives all round for Manchester United's players that were on their internationals, apart from Romero, Scott McTominay and Ashley Young, who have picked up knocks. They're obviously unfortunate, but they don't look like they're anything serious and should keep them out for too long. Touch wood. But nevertheless, that is the team news. McTominay, Romero, Ashley Young picked up knocks. Ander Herrera is back. And of course, Marcos Rojo got some football under his belt. Anyway, guys, how are you doing? Are you excited for this game? Because before the international break, we just beaten Chelsea, Liverpool. We beat Palace after being 2-0 down. And then the Sevilla defeat deflated the hell out of everybody. Even a victory over Brighton in the FA Cup, which gave us a semi-final at Wembley, couldn't cheer the United fans up much. I mean, I was happy about the semi-final at Wembley. I got my tickets confirmed for that yesterday. Got them in the ballot. Thank God for that. Me and my brother will be at Wembley. So I'm looking forward to that. But still, that Sevilla defeat, that defeat against Sevilla is playing on the minds of a lot of people. And that is still lingering at the moment. So it's very, very important that Manchester United beat Swansea. Now, Swansea come into it. They haven't, I don't think they've won their last two games, I think they lost against Spurs in the Cup. But apart from that, under Carlos Carvalhal, they have been doing a lot better. And they're clear of the relegation zone now. They look like they're going to be safe this season. Although Swansea fans, if they're watching, they're probably going to say, hey, calm down, we're not safe yet. But Swansea are looking all right for safety. Carlos Carvalhal is a big part of that, coming after being sacked by Sheffield Wednesday, I think it was. And a lot of people were saying, what's going on here? Why is he getting sacked by Sheffield Wednesday and then getting a Swansea job? But he's coming at Swansea and done very, very well. Got them playing good football. Got them playing, looking a lot more organised. And he's getting the best out of his players up top as well. The likes of Tammy Abraham are looking a lot better under him too. So they're doing well at this moment. Swansea have got some decent results at Old Trafford. I remember Sigurdsson scoring in a 2-1 win for them. And they've got another 2-1 win there as well. So they come and we know they can pull off a shot. But this is a game Manchester United should be winning. We have to be winning this match against Swansea. We need these 3 points to keep that momentum up. We've got 10 games left this season if we beat Spurs in the semi-final at Wembley. If not, then it's 9 games. 8 games left in the league. Now, although the league title has gone, we want to end the campaign on a positive run. We want to be finishing second. We want to be feeling like, yo, we may have not won the league. We may be whatever amount of points it is behind City when we finish at the end of the season. But we finished second. That's an improvement on last season. And we want to shake off that negative feeling and be looking towards next season with players in form, with players looking happy, with the likes of Paul Pogba in his normal position, looking happy, in form again. We need to be getting our players back and in form. So it's still very, very important, these games up until the end of the season. And Manchester United need to be going into these games full guns blazing. Anyway, guys, how you doing? Theo is buzzing because he's got his Wembley tickets confirmed this week. Pogba is the best midfielder in the world, says Herman, but we need to see it in a Manchester United shirt. We know he's got the potential, but we need to see it in a Manchester United shirt. Yagoob, if you're at a game and you want to do a fan cam, feel free to come and find us. If it's a home game, we'll buy Sir Alex Ferguson way. If it's an away game, we'll buy the away end. feel free to come and find us. No goals allowed versus Swansea last 2 games. Good form against their boys, says Ryan. Yes, that is very, very true. Although Swansea have a decent record against Manchester United this season. We've played them twice and we've scored 6 and conceded 0, both away from home. You remember the 2-0 victory in the Carabao Cup. Jesse Lingard getting both of the goals. And then a 4-0 victory earlier on in the season. 4-0 FC time where we got a couple of goals. Pogba scoring, Martial scoring, Lukaku scoring. It was a real good time out there last time round. I think even Eric Bailly scored. I'd love him to score this game, wouldn't it? It'd be great if he got his first goal at Old Trafford. Time for Sanchez to step up, says Tom England. Now Sanchez played, I think he played both games for Chile. And obviously he hasn't been in great form. Got put on the bench against Brighton, which I thought was justified given his performances beforehand. But is likely to come back into the team against Swansea. We need a performance from him, and hopefully going away, coming back, refreshing himself, it'll be good for him, and we'll get to see the better of Alexis Sanchez. Of course, look, I know I was saying as well, Alexis needs to be dropped out of the team, put onto the bench for a little bit, and I still would stand by that. I think it was the right thing to do, but I'm not writing this guy off at all because he's an absolute baller, and Manchester United will get the best of him probably next season when we've got a pre-season behind him. He's got a fully rested summer off behind him because we know Chile ain't going to the World Cup, so looking forward to seeing more from Alexis Sanchez. Dizzy Donald says, just got on. Hey Adam, thank you for joining us, mate, whether you got on just now or you got on a little bit earlier when we started the stream at 5 p.m. UK time. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Make sure you're subscribing, liking, sharing as well. We recently hit 48,000 subscribers, so thank you very much for that. We're well en route to our target of 50,000 by the end of the season. If we can hit 50,000 by the end of the season, then by the end of the year, I know it's a little bit optimistic, but I want to try and get as close to 100,000 as possible. There's no reason why we can't do that, and we're going to be ramping it up on Adam McKola TV. So make sure you're subscribing, liking, and sharing right about now. Akshiv says, when will the full-time Devils preview come? That is on Friday. I'm going to be involved with that too. Sanchez is world class. Sometimes we judge players way too soon, says Atul. All these negativity around Sanchez is mental, says Lalu. Keep up the live content. Of course I will do so, Bilal. And I believe in Alexis. He will come good, says Mo Wada. Players that were rested during the international break, the likes of Mata, do you think they will be starting this game? Atul says, are full-time Devils back on Twitter? I think we're getting closer to getting them back on Twitter, but I don't think they're on just yet, guys. So yeah, we're getting closer, but it's not happened just yet. So you just have to bear with us on that one. Which defense do we start? That's a great question as well, from Yax. No problem if you're late, Alex. Thank you very much for watching. Do you think people Pogba fries more for France because they give him a free-ish role? Says Dale. I didn't watch the full game, so I'm literally looking at his goal and saying that's going to give him confidence, which you'd expect. But I didn't watch the game, so I can't really comment on that. But I assume they played him in a midfield three, and he was looking freer, and that's where we need to be playing him as well. But to be fair, he does need to perform even when he's not being played in his preferred position, because look, there's been games where he hasn't performed, hasn't done the basics correct. Do you know what I mean? And we need him to do the basics correct. Now, I would still start him, and you want to see him in his best position, but if he's not, do the basics right. But I can understand his frustration at not playing in a better role. Craig says, what happened with that? What post killed the account? It wasn't any specific post or video or anything like that. I know a few other accounts have been closed down for like copyright and stuff. It wasn't anything to do with that, and the reasons that they gave were very, very strange. So we're not exactly sure what it was. They were saying like spamming and stuff like that, but we've never spammed. So Full-Time Devils makes all original content. They don't spam anybody. So it was weird that they closed it down. But hopefully we'll get it back up and running very, very soon. But it wasn't a copyright thing or anything like that. Do you think Sanchez should start, says Junaid? I do think Sanchez should start. Yes, I will be giving you guys my full predicted 11 very, very soon as well. But I do think Alexis Sanchez should be starting in this game. Oh my God, I'm just so happy though that the international break is over, man. I hate the international break. Like, look, it's okay to when if you're winning and you can go into it, relax, have a weekend off, get your players fresh, all that stuff. It's all right, but your players are flying all around the world. Like it's just boring. Like I went to the England versus Italy game. England versus Italy, two biggish teams in world stages. And I just found myself really bored. I was only excited to see Jesse Lingard and Marcus Rashford. Didn't pay for tickets, so you know what? That's all right. But yeah, I just found it really, really boring. And international football, not for me. In terms of the World Cup and stuff like that, I'll get more interested in that. The knockout competition stuff is a lot better to be around. Good to have you back involved, JLPC. Thank you for getting involved. Shriram says Martial, Rashford have been playing out of position. So have Valencia and Young. A world-class player would produce consistent performances irrespective of midfield 2 or 3. I feel it's unfair to bring Valencia into that because I think Valencia has been a pretty good right back. I think Ashley Young is someone that's playing out of position. And I think Martial and Rashford. Martial has played on the left wing before Manchester United as well. And whilst he probably does look at him like the central man in the future, he's very capable of playing out wide. So I don't see how it's a problem. He just needs to play more consistently, I think. Conrad says, Adam, if Zlatan wasn't injured, do you still think he would have left? I don't think he would have left if he wasn't injured. No, I think the injury is a thing that has seen his United career come to an end very, very soon. Bilal says, are you going to watch the boxing on Saturday? I am going to watch the boxing, but unfortunately I'm not going to be there. Now my cousin, who is from the UK but lives in Kenya, messaged me yesterday like, yo, I'm coming down on Saturday. I can get us floor tickets to the AJ fight. Can you make it? And I was thinking, can I make it? And it's just not. It's not possible to get to Wales from the United game after doing fan cams. It is not possible. So I've had to write that one off, unfortunately. But I will be watching the game. The fight at home. I think he knows he can't keep up with the Prem now, says McLaren. Yeah, that injury is taking it out of him. Jay says, should Sanchez start? I think he should start, and I'll give you more on my starting 11 very, very soon. Hopefully these sit-down talks will help Jose's Pogba relationship thoughts. Craig, can you give me a link to that? I've not read anything on that. I think what happens is when players are out of form, when teams are out of form, when there's negativity around the camp, it's easier for newspapers to say things and people to believe them. Now, I'm not saying Paul Pogba was delighted with his form. I'm not saying Paul Pogba was delighted to be on the bench. I'm also not saying Paul Pogba was delighted with where he was playing. But I do think that, things can happen in life. You can have issues with your missus, issues with your mum, issues with your dad, issues with your boss, issues with anybody, your friends, and you can resolve them in a day or two. Like, you just drop them. Like, you can have problems, and it's not always the end of the world when these things come around. And that's why I tend to take it in my stride a little bit more. Of course, you don't like to hear these stories about people being unhappy and all that, but the majority of the time it is just tabloid bullshit, so I just don't like to read into it. And that's exactly what Atul has said in the comment as well. Famdam says, good luck to Zlatan, an honour to have him at the club. It was great to see him at the club. Man United are always going to be under the microscope. Media chat shit about Pogba and Jose. It says Theo and Shaw has to step up on Saturday. That was something I wanted to chat about as well, so thank you for reminding me, Asif. Obviously we had the whole Luke Shaw debacle before the international break, with Luke Shaw starting against Brighton, being subbed off at half time, and then the whole fallout after that. Ashley Young on in the internationals has picked up a knock and he's now injured. Manchester United are without Daley Blind. Marcus Rojo has come back, but it's unlikely to see him play at left back. So the only choice for us to play at left back would be Luke Shaw. So big opportunity for him if Ashley Young is injured this weekend, and to see him at left back would be good for me. I think I want the best for Luke Shaw. I want Luke Shaw to do well. Now look, I think Jose has tried to give him a chance. I think he could probably give him a little bit more of a chance. But I think Shaw has to be professional as well. And I think you want to see better for him. And if he gets an opportunity on Saturday. I hope he takes it. It's as simple as that. And I think Jose Mourinho should give him the chance as well. If Ashley Young is injured, don't be forcing Marcus Rojo into that position. Don't be playing Darmian at left back. Play fucking Luke Shaw. Give him a chance at left back. He doesn't get many of them. Even if you were unhappy with him against Brighton, that was his first game in how long? I wasn't really particularly unhappy with his performance against Brighton. But, do you know what I mean? Junaid says, apparently we are close to getting Titi. Now, I do think this is a load of bollocks, to be honest. It seems like Titi is in contract negotiations with Barcelona, and Manchester United may be being used to push those along and get him a bigger deal or a better deal. So, yeah, I wouldn't read too much into that. I think Shaw is gone. Even if he plays well, it's just not going to work out, says Ronak. I wouldn't disagree with that, to be honest. I do get that feeling at this moment in time as well. Could we start with a 3-man defence, says Atul. But then who's playing at left wing back? Who? Because there's no Ashley Young if he's injured, remember. Because he picked up a knock on international duty. If you missed that one. If you missed the team news that I did give you earlier at the start of this stream, then of course that team news was that Marcus Rojo played 90 minutes for Argentina in the international break, which is great news for Manchester United, even if they did concede 6 at the time. Of course, as well, Jesse Lingard did well on internationals. Paul Pogba was back. He missed a few training sessions with France through injury. He didn't start their first game of the international break. I think he started their second one and he scored as well, which was great to see. Anthony Martial was involved with France as well in a front three which contained Mbappe, Dembele and Anthony Martial. What a front three that is. That is absolutely amazing. In my Football Manager 2018 season, I took the international manager's job of France. I'm a club as well, but I took the manager's job of France just to be able to boss them and hopefully win the World Cup. I've not got there just yet. Well, the World Cup's coming up. The group stage is just being announced. I hope Rojo plays at centre half, Craig. I know you're saying it could possibly play him at left back, but I do hope he plays at centre half with Eric Bailly. And talking about that, I'll give you my predicted team news right about now. Here is my predicted 11 against, or maybe it's my preferred 11 against Swansea at the weekend. David De Gea in goal. We expect him to return, don't we? And then I've gone with Valencia at right back, Luke Shaw at left back. Ashley Young picked up a knock on international duty, which means Luke Shaw is our only available left back. I've gone with Bailly and Lindelof as centre half. I know I said Rojo, but I think with Rojo, I want Rojo to start, but I don't think he's going to start. He's just come back, played 90 minutes for Argentina. Maybe he'll bring him on from the bench. So I've gone with Valencia, Lindelof, Bailly and Shaw. Matic, Herrera, who's back from injury, and Pogba, because we've got to remember McTominay is out as well. So McTominay is picking up a knock. Obviously, Jose Mourinho may come out tomorrow and absolutely shit on all of this and say McTominay's fit, Ashley Young's fit, etc, etc. Craig says he has a funny feeling Herrera is going to have the game of his life. Andre says, I hope Lindelof will start. Mo says Bailly and Lindelof to the end of the season, and I enjoyed watching him flap, says Stephen. I'm not sure who you're talking about. Is it Rojo? Herrera, awesome that is back, says Dale. I've seen images on, I think it was Ander Herrera's Instagram, of him doing an interview with MUTV with his shirt in the back and all of that. And I'm hoping, I'm not seeing that interview anywhere, although it may already be up, but I'm hoping that's his interview for him having signed a new contract. Who knows? Is he going to leave? Is he going to go to Barcelona in the summer? Is he going to go to another Spanish team in the summer? Or is he going to sign a new contract at Manchester United? I want Ander Herrera to sign a new contract at Manchester United. Look, he hasn't played great this season. He's not the only one that hasn't played great this season. But Ander Herrera was one of our best players last season. And I think we need to keep him. We're going to lose Carrick in the summer. It looks like we're going to lose Fellaini in the summer. We don't want to be losing 3 of our current midfield selection. And losing Herrera just means we got to buy another one. And are you going to really see us picking 2 to 3 quality, top quality central midfielders in the summer? I can't see it. I love Herrera. I want to see him stay at Manchester United, and I'm hoping that he does. Tony says Herrera said that he will stay. Fabrizio says I love Herrera. If we get Bale in the summer, I think Mata and Lingard will get sold. Since Ibrahim Lingard isn't going anywhere. And I doubt we're going to get Bale in the summer. I'd love him to stay, says Dale. Fellaini is a hero to Belgium, says Rafat. Lalu says Herrera is silent this season, unlike last. He hasn't got a good run of games though, says Dale. Luke McDermott says I think the video is Man United YouTube. I may go and check that out later. Mourinho manager, hey. I think Herrera needs time to gel with Matic. They never really did. I agree with that as well. Because if you remember at the beginning of the season, we were playing with Matic, Pogba and Mata in like a midfield 3/4-2-3-1. And Herrera, whenever he was coming in, it was for, I think he was injured for a bit, and then he come in, got 10-15 minutes there, wasn't great, and then his starts, he wasn't great, and his bad form kind of just took over. And then he had a good game, I can't remember when it was, but he played well in a few games recently, and I thought, oh, he's back now, but then he got injured again. So we need to get him in the team and playing well. Ronak's predicted lineup 4-2-3-1, De Gea, Valencia, Bailly, Smalling, Young, Matic, Pogba, Mata, Sanchez, Martial, Lukaku. I would like to see Mata in this team, and I did think of putting Mata on the right, but I do think Alexis is dead cert to start. You could potentially have Mata in Herrera's position as well, which would be, that would work, I think. It could potentially mould into like a 4-2-3-1. Mo Wada says, why not Vidal? He's older but still good and a leader, and he'd have that chemistry with Alexis Sanchez as well. I wouldn't mind seeing Arturo Vidal at Manchester United. Do I think it's going to happen? Am I holding my breath? No. But, yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. We've got over 172 people watching at this moment in time and only 57 likes, guys. So get hitting that like button. Can we hit over 100 likes while we are live right about now? We've got about 7 to 8 minutes left of this live stream, so keep your questions and your thoughts coming in ahead of the game against Swansea. Now Swansea are a decent outfit. They're doing much better in recent weeks. Carlos Carvalhal doing very well there at this moment in time. They drew 1-1 at Old Trafford last season, and they have beaten Liverpool and Arsenal this season as well. United, we need to get a result in this game. We need to win this match, and Swansea stand in our way. Oh man, what's the score going to be? What is my prediction? My predicted score for this one is Manchester United 3, Swansea 0. I'm going to go with 3-0. I was going to say 4-0, but let's not get too excited. We've beaten them 2-0 already this season. We've beaten them 4-0 already this season. Can we beat them 3-0? Or will they finally get a goal or a result against Manchester United this season? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments right about now. Andre's going for 3-1. Atul's going for 3-1. Jay's going for 4-0. Ishi's going for 3-0. Ibrahim's going for 2-0. Ronak 2-0 with a Lukaku brace. Jenny's going for 2-0. 4-0 FC, says Junaid. As does Dale. As does Fabrizio. Dinesh says 2-1. Rafat points out that Swansea are on a good run of form at this moment in time. And Atul doesn't think we're going to keep a clean sheet. So those are the thoughts from you guys in the comments at this moment in time. Dinesh thinks it's going to be a 2-1 comeback victory, and Chris says 2-0 as well. Guys, make sure you tuned into Full Time Devils for the fan cams and all that. I'm doing the preview on Full Time Devils tomorrow as well as the fact I will have post-match reaction as well as a match day vlog from the Swansea game as well. Live post-match reaction from outside Old Trafford. So if you've never been on Adam McKola TV before, make sure you subscribe and liking and sharing so that you get those video notifications and all that good stuff. Do you think Pogba's refreshed? I do think Pogba's refreshed Ishi, and I'm hoping Pogba's refreshment brings a good performance for Manchester United, and I definitely want to see him in the team. Khalid says 3-1. Dividge says 5-1. Please, can you keep the atmosphere alive? I'll try my best. Thank you for watching Atul, and enjoy work, mate. I think someone like Pogba could be the next captain. Ahmed, I was about to read that out. Thank God I didn't. Lucky didn't get muted. Not so much interested in the result, to be honest. Just want to stay top 2 or 3. I'm interested to see a reaction from our top players, says Daniel Holsey. we definitely do need to see a reaction from the Manchester United players in this game against Swansea. We need to keep it up. We need to keep going. And we can't, let drop from the second spot now. We've beaten Liverpool. We've beaten Chelsea. We got some momentum in the league at least. I know things ended badly in the Champions League, but we've got some momentum going in the league. So let's keep that going right through to the end of the season. So in the summer we can say, look, finish second. We want to improve next season. That means finishing top. Let's go and aim to do that. We finished 6th last season. Finishing second will be an improvement. But I feel like if we drop to 3rd, drop to 4th, whilst it would be an improvement on 6th, that negativity of having lost that spot just wouldn't be great. So we need to keep it up with a result against Swansea. Going into, we got some big games coming up, man. We got Manchester City, we got the cup semi-final against Spurs, so we need to keep that momentum going with a victory here, and I think we'll get it. To be honest, I'm going 3-0 United with Lukaku, Martial and Paul Pogba scoring. Guys, I have been Adam McKola. You guys have been absolute legends. Thank you for watching youtube.com/Adam McKola. We are going to be heading off right now. I'll be back tomorrow, back on Saturday with reaction from Old Trafford, as well as the match day vlog, plus much more. Keep it locked, keep it Adam McKola TV, and for now, I'm Adam McKola. I'm out of here.